There has been a lot of talk today about whether or not prisoner swaps like this set a bad precedent, encourage perhaps Russia to take hostages again in the future. How do you respond to that?
Well, the prisoner swap isn't the motivation for why these wrongful detentions are taking place. They're taking place because they want to use Americans as political pawns. They want to flout international law. They certainly don't want to have any regard for normative-based rules. And this has been psychological torture for Mr. Whelan's family, for the Gershkovich family, for the Wall Street Journal. And you have to remember, when Paul Whelan was taken into wrongful detainment, this was at the very end of 2018. And this was the canary in the coal mine of the lawlessness that Mr. Putin and the Russian Federation was going to engage in a couple of years later with the Ukraine war. And so this has been harrowing. There has certainly been something that Russia believes that they achieved in holding Mr. Whelan hostage. It's also a part of their political propaganda. And we also know that these hostage and wrongful detainee incidences are ratcheting up. You see the White House flying the hostage and wrongful detainee flag at top of their building right now. And that flag is now a national flag. We got it passed and signed into law along with March 9th, which is Hostage and Wrongful Detainee Day. That flag, though, came from the Robert Levinson family. Mr. Levinson was taken hostage in Iran 15 years ago, and his family has now said to us over and over again, this is happening at scale. This is continuing to ratchet up, and that is because of the lawlessness of adversarial regimes and governments that are looking to minimize the United States. So people need to be vigilant. We certainly need to pay attention to State Department orders and continue to bring awareness to these wrongful detentions. Because if it can happen to Paul and Trevor Reed and Brittany Griner, it could happen to anyone.
Donald Trump was writing on Truth Social about this, Congresswoman, and I would love for you to maybe shed some light on some of the questions it seems that he's asking. So when are they going to release the details of the prisoner swap with Russia? He asks, and specifically asks the question, are they giving us cash? He goes on to write, I got back many hostages and gave the opposing country nothing and never any cash. As co-chair of the hostage task force in the House, can you shed some light on whether this was a cash deal? Does he know what he's talking about?
I don't believe he does. And I find it really shameful that we can't just come together in a bipartisan way, in a nonpartisan way as Americans at this time and just rejoice. You should see my phone right now. It is just full of messages of enthusiasm, of appreciation, of relief, of joy. We, alongside the Whelan family in Michigan, feel like we have been through this ordeal with them, except for it was their family that had the empty chair at holidays, and it was their family that has been left in the lurch. So we just need to pause the campaigning for maybe just a couple of hours and recognize that when we do this work, it is bipartisan. It is on behalf of the United States government. I work with French Hill, a Republican counterpart, on the task force on hostages and wrongful detainees. We pass a bipartisan resolution condemning Russia, calling for the release of Paul every term in Congress. We should be coming together as Americans right now, not taking cheap shots at one another.
Well, and of course, while we've all been paying attention to these individuals who were wrongfully detained, you also have been focusing a lot of your work on the hostages still being held by Hamas. And Congresswoman, given what we have seen in recent days, including Israel taking out someone who was at the negotiating table on behalf of Hamas, its political director in Iran, and Iran now vowing retaliation, does that make you concerned that a hostage deal for those individuals still being held may never happen?
Yeah, and we know that the hostages being held in Gaza, also ironically today marking 300 days in hostage, are going to be released alongside a broader deal that will bring a ceasefire to this horrible war and to this situation. I always tell the families of the hostages that they are the heartbeat of the ceasefire negotiations, because that's how we will achieve a just ceasefire. And if you ask the White House, and I'm certainly not trying to speak for them, but I know the first thing that they would say to you is, okay, we got Wieland, Gershkovich, Ursula home now, and Vladimir, and now we need to get a ceasefire in Gaza, and we need to get our hostages home there. And in terms of where that deal is going and the starts and the stops and all the micro needling inspection of the day to day with that war, we can certainly see that that Israel's doing what they said they were going to do, which is defeat Hamas, and that is what the attack in Tehran showcased, is that they took the steps to take out a major leader in the Hamas enterprise, but we still want to get those hostages home. And the difference between Gaza hostages and wrongful detainees in Russia is that the Gazan hostages, those in Gaza, Israelis, Americans, dozens of nationalities, they don't get to talk to their family. They don't have consular access. Hamas is a non-state actor. So diplomacy is very, very different and very difficult in this circumstance in the Middle East right now.